what's up? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Runa, and today is Foundation Friday. And Foundation Friday is basically I test out foundations every single Friday here on my channel. But today I decided that I would teach you guys some of the foundation hacks that I use to make my foundation last longer. Applications, things that I do, etc, etc. So if you guys want to know what my foundation hacks are, go ahead and subscribe down to my channel, turn on the notifications, and if you want to continue to participate in Foundation Friday, like and comment down below and join the community, and let's get started. So I always do my eyeshadows first before I do my foundation application, only because sometimes when I do heavy foundation, there is a lot of fallout. So the first thing that I'm always going to say that a really good hack is for your foundation to last is base. Base is everything. What you do before you apply your foundation is the most important step ever. And for me, it's always obviously I do skincare every single day. So always having a good skincare regimen is like a hidden secret about having good, flawless foundation application. You want to have really good skincare. That means day and night you want to do really good skincare. I can definitely do a skincare routine again for 2019, but I haven't uploaded anything, but I will share it with you guys. If you guys want to, just go ahead and comment down below and we could do that. So my base of choice today is going to be Milk Makeup. And this is Milk Makeup Blur Stick, and this is my base of choice today. I've actually really liked this stuff because it literally does what it says it does. It's a blur stick. And you just go in and you just blur areas. If you look, it's already blurring. It just makes your foundation go on very flawless. And it doesn't have that gunky feel to it like other silicone primers may have. Also remember you guys, I always have the links down below for you to click and purchase whatever you would like to try out or check out. They're down there for you. My preferred method for foundation base is primer, color corrector, foundation, and then concealer. That's how I love to do things. I use two color correctors. I'll use the red color corrector by Maybelline Master Camo or the peach one. I tend to use the peach one more during the winter, and I tend to use the red one during the summer because for some reason during the summer my hyperpigmentation does act up more. You probably can't see it that much here on this camera because the lights do fade out any of my imperfections for some odd reason, but I do have dark under, like I just need to even my skin tone out in my chin area. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use the peach one today, and obviously it's been twisted around a lot, so I'm just gonna go ahead and add the peach one into areas where I am super dark. This is a great hack just to make your skin tone look really, really even, and you just want to be like, I wouldn't go ham on it, I would just go kind of like just cover it up, because this a little goes a long way with this. And then you can just go in with a beauty blender and you could just tap all that out. When it comes to blending out color correcting, I like to use a dry beauty blender versus a damp one, because the point of using the dry beauty blender is because I want this orange stuff to like dry really fast. You know, I just want it to be stuck on my face and I don't want it to blend in with my foundation. So I always use a dry beauty blender. I found this is the best method to help set your color corrector. So if you're someone who uses color corrector, and I get this question all the time on how do I set my color corrector, I just use a dry beauty blender. Don't use a wet one because all it's gonna do is make everything go everywhere. So that's what I do. So now my skin is prepped for foundation, and my preferred foundation today is the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation in Cypress. The damp beauty blender, and I'm just gonna take like, well, 2 pumps, and I'm gonna just stamp it in to my skin. I like to use the beauty blender to apply my foundation because it just lasts the best and lays the best in my experience. Say if you have a lot of dark circles, hyperpigmentation, and the color correcting didn't work as well, a good way to also set the color corrector is to go in with a concealer of your choice and put it on top of the color correcting areas and set those areas with concealer. So it gives a layer for your color corrector to bond with a concealer, and then it just creates a flat canvas and a nice clean canvas for your foundation, and no bleeding occurs. And it also doubles up as coverage. So you could put concealer before your foundation and after your foundation, and it's just going to give you a super flawless finish. Be sure that the concealer that you're going to put on before you apply the foundation is actually a thin base. You don't want to go ham on it, or else it'll crease and it's not gonna look as nice, and it's gonna look quite cakey. So you want to make sure that it's nice and thin and blend it out. Blending is key when you do all your foundation hacks. So another foundation hack that I can give you guys is I put the primer all over my face. That's because I tend to do that. Now, if you're someone who's super dry on your cheeks, but you're not so dry in your T-zone, so this is your T-zone, and you're more oily in your T-zone, you can just put the blurring stick just in your T-zone, and you can skip putting it all over your face. If you're somebody that has combination skin, or you just have irregular skin, you know, that can happen, where you're super dry on your cheeks, or you're super dry in the center, but you're oily on your cheeks. Combination happens in different ways. I would just focus on primers that work for your specific area. So I tend to sometimes have a little bit more oil on my T-zone, so I go into T-zone area with an oil control primer, which is also the blur stick. For my cheeks, I would most likely, even though I didn't need to this time because I did a whole hydration mask, for my cheeks I usually go in with a more hydrating primer. So the Unicorn Essence, Skin Tune Blur, anything that's a hydrating primer, I'll put those on my cheeks and around my chin area, around my lip area, because I tend to get dry in those areas. So it's also okay to use two primers and use them as a combination. Another tip that I can give you guys when you use your foundation, you can go ahead and take a hydrating primer and mix it into a matte foundation. Take like 1 drop primer, 1 drop foundation, equal parts, mix it together, and then you have a light, airy, natural skin foundation, and you just took a full coverage foundation and dotted it down to a medium coverage foundation that gives you medium coverage feel but full coverage. Another hack, it's not really a hack, it's more info. Another info that I want to give you guys is know your foundations. Everyone's always asking me tons of foundation questions, and I feel like this isn't discussed enough, but you want to know your foundations. Foundations have different type of coverages. There's a sheer coverage, there's a medium coverage, and then there's the full coverage. So you always want to make sure you know what coverage you want. Me personally, I love a full coverage. Even though my skin is fairly good underneath makeup, I just love how full coverage looks on my face, and I like how it looks. I like to look like I have makeup on. Now, if you're someone that doesn't like to look like you have makeup on, then you want to wear sheer coverage foundation or medium coverage foundation, preferably medium coverage. If you're young and you're like in the 14 range, you're still in high school, wear sheer coverage. It's just give yourself time to age and enjoy the youth of sheer coverage. You get me? Also, some of you guys need to understand that foundation has SPF 15 in it, and some foundations have no SPF 15 in it. So the foundations with SPF 15 in it are going to be no good for nighttime, because when you take pictures, you're going to get that casty white cast, and you're going to look like you're completely ghost face this way, and you're like beautifully flesh downwards. So you want to get two separate foundations. You want to buy a foundation that is for night and for day. When you buy foundation for day, you want to have an SPF in it. It's just better to have SPF in it because SPF's like great for your skin and it protects your skin. And you want the night one. Night foundation, I always go with full coverage because it just looks better on camera. And when you're taking those selfies, you're going to look flawless. Another foundation hack, another foundation 101 is that you guys need to find the right foundation shade. Now, I'm not one to preach because your girl never can figure out her shades. I have a very hard time, and I feel like all brown girls, all medium skin tone girls have the hardest time to find foundation or shade. I totally get it. I understand. So my trick is I usually will take 3 to 4 foundations. I know this is excessive. So if you're an online shopper, make sure you keep those receipts because I do tend to sometimes order 3 or 4 types of the same foundation. I've already kind of not got better at figuring out what foundation will look good on me, but I usually will order 3 of the foundations that are in the medium range, and I will test all 3 here out on my skin, and I'll try to see if it matches my neck. I always go with foundation that matches my neck. Some people like to go with foundation that match their cheek area because they like more of a, they're gonna go with bronzers and stuff like that, so they like a much more not so tan look, and they like more of a dimensional look. Me, I like to just keep my foundation that look, just match it to my neck, and I'm a happy person. The biggest tip here with matching and finding your foundation is whatever foundation that you're going to mix into your jawline, it needs to mesh blend. It needs to look like you didn't even put nothing there. And that is your foundation color. And I know there's so many tips and tricks around what foundation color to find, but I definitely think the best method overall for pictures, for life, for humans that don't understand makeup, it's best to just let the foundation melt into your skin, and that is your foundation color. Another trick that's not as important, but some people might need to do it. A lot of people will go in and just foundation their ears at the same time. It's a trick to do. It's good. I wouldn't like have a bunch of foundation on your sponge. I wouldn't have a bunch of foundation on your sponge. I would just go in and do that. And if you can see, it just makes everything look so much more even, right? And then I just do that as well. But I don't always do this. I mostly do this when I'm gonna be wearing my hair up. Then I will foundation my ears just to, you know, give the coverage that they also utterly deserve. Another hack that I like to do when I'm not wearing any makeup and I don't have any eye makeup and I'm just like 5-minute face, this is the hack for the 5-minute face, is I actually put the remainder of my foundation that's in my sponge and I'll go over my eyes. After I'm done with my whole face, I just take the remainder and I go over my eyes, and that just wakens up my eyes and makes me look like I actually had 12 hours of sleep when I had probably 5. Another hack that is totally important is you want to do your foundation in natural light. I do my foundation in a studio room and I have lights everywhere. If I have to do foundation in my bathroom, I try to make sure I have all of the windows, the bathroom window open, and I do my foundation in my bathroom. I hate doing makeup in my bathroom because you literally cannot see what it's gonna look like in natural light. Trust me, I've had so many stories and so many situations when I went out and I looked horrific because I did my makeup in the bathroom light, and that's not realistic light. So I tend to like to sit in front of a wet window and just do my makeup, because that's when the makeup comes out flawless, because it's the light, it's the same light all over the world, you know? Okay, so those were some really good foundation hacks. I'm gonna go in with concealer, and I'm just gonna do a little bit of some dots. Today I'm going in with concealer that's very similar to my skin. Usually I go in with concealer that's really bright, and I go a little ham with my concealer because I just like to have that flawless finish. I'm actually gonna go out tonight and I'm gonna see, with all these hacks that I do, is this going to last on me? Another favorite trick that I have that I love to do with foundation is I love to use a foundation stick. So this is my YSL foundation stick, and I love these as contour sticks. And what I do is I'll contour with this foundation, and this is obviously several shades darker than me, but you don't have to go as dark. You can go maybe a little bit less darker. You could go like 3 shades darker than your skin tone, or you could go 2 shades darker. It's up to you. I tend to like to go like many shades darker because I really like a very intense contour. First, you want to blend this out. I'm just going to use my IT Cosmetics foundation brush. And when you blend this out, I wouldn't drag it, because if you're going to drag it, then it's going to look very streaky. I would just press it in. And let me tell you guys something. If you don't do this step, you're going to look real masky. I feel like when I contour like this, it just gives me so... It's looking really scary right now, but it gets better. It just gives me so much dimension, and it just makes me look alive. And it avoids that whole cakey look. I feel like it just kind of erases the cake. Like, you look less cakey. And it just gives a beautiful, beautiful glow. Go in with my beauty blender, and I'll try to blend everything out. You know, go into all the corners. Try to blend everything out. And if you see, instantly, the before and after is just really nice. My skin is so warm now. Some of you guys will say I look a little orange, but it could just be my lights, but I'm not orange at all. So if you look very closely, it's not as chiseled. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take concealer and I'm going to chisel that out, cut my contour. And cutting your contour will just it'll give you like a mini facelift. You see that? that looks good. Next thing you want to do is you definitely want to set your face. Setting your face is so important to me. There's so many methods that you can set your face with. I like to use my Laura Mercier powder. Just be very careful with this powder. Don't go too ham in with this powder, because if you go too ham in, then it's going to make you look real cakey and really, you know, like you got too much foundation on. You just want a little bit. Like, see, just so little. Sometimes I see people going real ham with it, and I feel like that's why you'll get that cakey cast looking look. So you just want to put a little bit, like just a little bit. And you're still going to brush off this excess that's on your face, because there is still a little bit of excess, you know. And you definitely want to put on the Laura Mercier powder with a damp beauty blender. I think that's like one of the best secrets I've ever learned, is putting on your setting powder with a damp beauty blender. It's like the best trick I've ever learned. Okay. And a little bit on the forehead, because your girl got some lines up there. Foundation hack that I'm going to tell you guys to do is spray yourself with some setting spray. This is the Restore Spackle Spray by Laura Geller. I love this because the spray is just so pretty. Like, look at that. So pretty. So I'm just going to go ahead and spray myself. Spray. Oh! Tastes like coconut. The mist is very fine. And what this setting spray is going to do is it's going to set, prime, and refresh your foundation and just last all day on you. Okay, guys, so this is a full face of foundation hacks that I did. I just showed you guys some very popular hacks that I've learned over time, and I tested them out on my face. I usually use them, and I just wanted to try them out and show you guys some of the hacks that I use. I'm going to go ahead and wear this face the whole night. Go watch a movie, go hang out with friends and family, and then I'll check in with you guys and tell you guys and show you guys how this foundation hack or technique or routine, whatever you guys want to call it, lives up to a whole night out hanging out with family and friends and just chilling. I'll be back and give you guys a full view of this, okay? So I just got back from watching Simba with Ranveer Singh. If you're Desi, you know what I'm talking about. It's a Bollywood movie, and I went out for the night, and this is my finished face. And this is the foundation hacks that I used, and look at how well my foundation lasted me. Like, looks so good. It's still brand new. I've had it on about 6 hours. Of course I ate, so I rubbed some off right there, but I mean, it looks really good. So I really love using all these foundation hacks and these foundation secrets. I hope they really help you guys out. If you can see, like, foundation is intact, setting powder is working. I do have tired eyes because it's like almost 2 in the morning, and I wake up at 5 in the morning all the time, so I don't really sleep. I haven't been able to sleep a lot because of like all the holiday stuff that's been going on. But anyways, I will see you guys in the next Foundation Friday. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to comment down below and like the video and turn on your notifications. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. Mwah.